Bon Jovi sucks ass ever since he cut his hair.
Did you start the video just to say that?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Short-haired bullshit.
That's okay. You just cut your hair.
So, I'm not Bon Jovi.
But you could have been if you kept the hair long. Hello, again, I'm Ray, editor, still, they haven't fired me yet. So before this job, I worked at an escape room for about 3 years. I was there for a few months, became the manager, and also did all the maintenance. So a lot of things breaking, a lot. It's lucky I have a couple years in construction to kind of offset that. But I've done a few escape rooms. I'd only done one before I started working there, and that's what made me realize I want to work at an escape room. So I did a different one in Green Bay. And then went to the escape room that I work at for an interview, and I met like my best friend in Wisconsin there. And so we still talk. It's been like probably 4 years at this point. We're still friends. We still hang out and all that. But some of the weirdest things, like people would bring in lockpick sets and bolt cutters and all that. And for those of you that don't know what an escape room is, which is I think kind of hard now to not know, it's you go into a room and they have different themes. Like we had like Sherlock Holmes, stuff like that. So you go and you're like, I want to do the Sherlock Holmes room, or I want to do the Game of Thrones room, which we didn't have, but people do. So you book the room, you go in, and you have an hour to go through the different puzzles and riddles and solve the different stuff. So some of it might be like, never really have to do math or anything. And what I tell people is, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do these. If I can do it, you can do it. Some rooms are going to be harder, but just about anybody can do it. They're made for kids and adults, so they're a lot of fun. But people would come in just like stoned out of their mind or drunk off their ass. I had one group, they did the Sherlock Holmes room, which is actually just closed down recently, but you have the main living room and the 2 bedrooms. The very first part, the first thing you do is you read a letter, and the letter tells you to open up a trunk. You open it up, and you get the key to both bedrooms. Done. That's it. And we tell people, because a lot of people would make the mistake of they grab the key, they open one door, and then they forget to open the second one. So I told them, this key opens up both doors. It was a bachelorette party. They got hammered at the bar next door. They don't know what's going on. So they're sitting there, and I go in to give them a clue, because in this room we would dress up as like a courier and give them actual written clues. And I went in, gave them a clue, and said, by the way, that key you found opens up both of those doors. And they said, okay, and then still just chatting, talking, running out their time. You only get an hour. They're like 20 minutes into this point. I go back in, give another clue, and I'll say, hey, that key opens up those doors. Nothing. 10 minutes later, half of the room is done. They haven't done a single thing. I walk in and say, do you mind if I see that key and open up those doors for you? And they practically shove me out of the room. So, okay, all right. They can play it however they want. I would keep giving them clues, keep telling them about the key, and they just wouldn't listen. Room runs out. Then they paid to do the full hour. They were drunk, didn't do anything. Room runs out. They went, how do you open up these bedroom doors? I was like, well, with this key. And they're like, what? Show us. So I opened it up, and they went, why didn't you tell us that? I'm like, I guess it slipped my mind. But the funny thing is they came back about a week later, forgetting they'd even done the room. They booked it again, and they set the record on it. Like, it really, really helps if you're sober. I mean, drunk, I'm sure it'd make it more fun, calm your nerves, but like, they were way too far. They had no clue what was going on. Probably couldn't have recited you what their name is. But
Short-haired bullshit.
that's okay. You just cut your hair.
So, I'm not Bon Jovi.